From NATO to the Free Community for Global Security. On the occasion of the NATO summit in Ankara, I asked my colleagues from my Stratematica research group, mostly working in universities and think tanks in the G7 area and compatible surroundings, to set up a scenario for the evolution of NATO itself calibrated on three requirements: A. Global security, B. Technological and cognitive evolution of warfare tools, C. Mutually stimulating relationship between military and civilian industry. In the preparatory dialogues via encrypted video calls, I noted that the colleagues more inclined toward idealistic pacifism, mostly from the left, or assimilable to it, shifted, albeit reluctantly, toward the realism of a pacifism through superiority and deterrence toward state and non-state actors inclined to violence, because they acknowledged a deterioration of the global order with the consequence of an increase in conflicts. This led to a convergence within the group between the anthropologically optimistic left, Rousseau, and the pessimistic right, Hobbes, homo homini lupus, allowing me to propose a synthesis: let us seek an intelligent but non-brutal Leviathan, that is, a convergence between Hobbes and Rousseau, after about 4 centuries of opposition in political science, as an instrument of vectorial moral philosophy for the reconstruction of world order by a sufficiently large alliance of democracies. Returning to Ankara, which I hope may in the near future adhere to the Abraham Accords, as well as Arabia, to facilitate the end of the divergence with Israel for a coastal and deep Mediterranean ecumene, I would like to highlight the priority of making NATO part of a global security organization. On the one hand, the trend has existed for some time, for Pacific nations, known as the Indo Pacific for Japan, Australia, South Korea, and New Zealand, participate in the annual NATO summits. On the other hand, although present in the industrial sector, a structure of integrative coordination between the Atlantic and the Pacific is lacking. That is, America wants to keep for itself the connection of security between the two oceans. But since it must shift more security resources to the Pacific because, although a superpower, it is too small to sustain a global presence, it would also be advantageous for Washington to accept a defense system based on the interoperability of the means, common standards, of Euro-Atlantic and Pacific nations. That is, NATO should become a component of a larger integrated global security and defense organization, let us provisionally call it the Free Community, with progressive inclusion of all democracies and compatible nations on the planet. The principle is simple: to create an organization larger and more powerful than the Sino-centric bloc in order to condition its behavior and support the political and economic stability of the participating democracies, now at risk. At Ankara 2026 there will be no explicit references to the strategy sketched here, but I urge European and Pacific actors to make some informal mention and schedule specific appointments. The new research program in economic geopolitics that I have launched is an evolution of the one titled, in 2013, Conflictual Deglobalization and Selective Reglobalization, with emphasis on the latter. The program is open to researchers who wish to participate.